Paige here. So I have decided that I am going to start a new web series called Now What? It is going to be about your publishing journey, and you've written a book, so now what are you going to do with it? So today's first post is going to be, so you want to write a book. Everybody wants to write a book, right? But everybody says, oh, I don't have time, I'm not really a writer, I don't know if I'm ready to sit down and start it. Excuses, lots of excuses. I've had excuses. But you don't have to limit yourself to that. So, how do you make time? My suggestion is that you sit down and you plot out 30 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour, however much time you need to sit down and write your book. Now you might say, oh, I don't have an hour, I don't have 30 minutes, I don't have 15 minutes, I'm too busy. How much time do you spend on social media? Let's be realistic. I could sit around and spend hours on Facebook and Reddit and Twitter and whatever. So why don't we cut down on some of your social media time? Get up first thing in the morning, sit down, spend your 30 minutes writing your book. If time doesn't work for you, sit down and say, okay, I'm gonna write 500 words today. Well, you might say, oh my God, 500 words is so much. It's really not. On average, about 250 words is one page. If you write it in like Times New Roman, 12-point font, double space, 250 words, that's one page. So 500 words is only 2 pages. Easy, simple, easy. So your next excuse might be, well, I'm not really much of a writer. I'm not very good at writing. I'm not good with words. What do? You have to practice. Practice is the only thing that's going to make you a better writer. If you don't practice, you're never going to get any better. So sit down, write your book, even if it's crappy and you hate it and it sucks and you want to bury it in the backyard because you don't want anybody ever to look at it, do it anyway. You will thank yourself. And let's be honest, everybody sucked. Everybody sucked at some point. In Stephen King's biography, he talks about how when he first wrote his first short story and submitted it, nobody wanted to publish it. He had a nail on the wall where he stuck all of his rejection letters because he had a whole stack of them. So don't be afraid to write. Don't be afraid to do it. Try it and get it all out, and then take your time and go back and revise later. But start writing. So then the third and final thing that I hear a lot is, oh, I'm not ready to start writing. Oh, I'll get to it one day. Oh, I don't know if I can tell my story well enough. I'll get to it eventually. When is eventually? When is that going to be? I've had that same struggle. I've been there, where I had an idea and I was like, oh, this is great, I'm going to write it down, it's going to be awesome. And then I just never did it because every time I sat at my computer, I was like, oh my God, this is horrible. You know, a lot of that is fear. It's fear that I'm going to start something that I'm not going to finish. Fear that, oh, I'm going to write something that everybody hates and nobody's ever going to look at my stuff, nobody's going to buy my stuff, or any other number of fears that we all have, insecurities that we have as authors, where we're like, oh my God, I just want somebody to love me and to love my things. Don't be afraid. Just do it. Just do it. And then once you're done with it, first of all, you'll be an author. Not a lot of people can say that. Not a lot of people can say, I wrote a whole book. That's really an accomplishment. So if you want to write a book and you're asking yourself, I have a great idea, now what? Just do it. Follow those 3 simple guidelines and you can do it. Stay tuned for next week. In our part 2 series of Now What, we are going to talk about what you can do after you've written your book. We're going to talk about revising and editing, and then we're also going to talk about the difference between a traditional publisher and being an indie publisher. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week.